What is going on, guys? It is your boy Bio2k, and today, man, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Season 8 prediction video. Now, normally I do this video probably around a Wednesday or a Thursday, about 2 or 3 days before the actual season does start. But because they do end up, releasing the full season details, on Thursday night, I do want to do this a couple days in advance to kind of let you guys know, what I'm thinking. And I'm actually curious to know what you guys are thinking as well. So, do me a favor, in the comments down below, be sure to comment who do you guys think is going to be the next level 40 reward. That is obviously going to be the main thing that I want, I am going to be curious about, because, and I want to know from you guys, is because that's going to be really the thing where, I think they have to make it somebody that is really good, and we're going to kind of get into it here in this video about why I think it is going to be an Invincible card as well. So if you guys do enjoy this video, like I did say, be sure to kill a like button, would be greatly appreciated. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's get right into it. So for the level 40, this is something that, again, we did see the biggest problem, I think, with this season was, one, the fact that Vince Carter was obtainable day one. Now, this is the first time they've done this. I don't think they are going to do this again. However, I do think that they should. Now, the reason why is because Vince Carter being obtainable day one kind of made it so, if you really wanted this Vince, you could have gotten him right away. Now, I don't mean, sweating, doing it literally day one within the first, 30 hours of the game when you could get it. I'm talking, within the first, couple days or even a week. If you really did space it out and you kind of, did things a lot together and grouped everything together, I think it was actually very doable, very quick. And I do really think that they should do something like that again. I just don't think they're going to, and I really hope that they do. Now, the reason why is because the level 40 does kind of lose value the farther we get into the year. Now, the reason why is because each year, or each season, the level 40 was the best card in the game once it was obtainable. You had got a guy like Stephen Curry, where Steph Curry was arguably the best player in the game the first 2 seasons of this game, this game's life cycle, which I think is pretty fair to say. Blake was definitely the best big man right next to guys like Diamond Draymond Green, and you had the pink Diamond George Mikan from Domination. Outside of that, there wasn't really a whole lot of options from what I remember, but Blake was definitely the best. Now, outside of that, Wade wasn't really all that good. Kawhi was definitely top notch. Kawhi was a guy I think a lot of people overlooked as far as, how good he really was, because Kawhi was still usable up until probably this season, and that doesn't mean that Kawhi is not usable. There's just so many shooting guards / small forwards that are really good in this game that it kind of made Kawhi, lose that wow factor. Now, because of that, we did end up seeing our first dark, or we saw, D-Rob, which is good. Then we saw our first dark matter in J.R. Smith, which is pretty, good for the most part. I mean, I liked him. I know a lot of people didn't like him all that much, but I liked the JR in the sense that, he could play point guard. He was really good at, attacking the rim. He was a good shooter, especially if you did play in current gen. He was a really good fit over there. Next gen, you got a lot of load ups, but on current gen, he was pretty good. And then we do actually have the dark matter Vince, which, like I said, was obtainable day one, and he actually wasn't and still isn't really all that bad. However, like I said, though, this next season that we are going to be seeing has to be an Invincible card. I think without a doubt, it has to be an Invincible card. And not only that, it has to be a card that people are going to want. Now, the reason why is because if it's not an Invincible card, if it is just, a normal card, it's going to have to be an out of position card. Now, what I mean by that is it's going to have to be a guy like Bol, where, it could be a small forward Bol. It has to bring that wow factor that people are going to want. If it's a guy like, for instance, maybe they do like some young player type promo, right? And say maybe they even make it a guy like Cam Reddish, who is like a fan favorite. So if they make it Cam Reddish, shooting guard / small forward, you already have Paul George, right? And again, with the whole shooting guard / small forward thing, there's already so many of them in this game that it's just going to be really hard to put a player as a level 40 to have him have that, really strong, power behind him. You know what I mean? So with this level 40, I'm thinking, honestly, we are going to be seeing an Invincible Luka. That is going to be my guess for the level 40, because I think 2K even knows at this point that this next, reward has to be good. Because if it's not, nobody's going to grind for it. I might, or I'm probably going to, just because I have every other one, so I might as well. But I don't think, too many people are going to want to grind for it unless it is a big name player that also is an Invincible card. I think if they give us a 99, everything, whatever, Luka that has Hall of Fame blinders, that can play the point, that has that Dante Exum base, I think that's going to actually help out a lot with, getting people to grind this game. Now, again, if you were to do an Invincible Luka, you might be able to get away with doing what they did with JR. where, you know, you could get him right away if you got Tyronn Lue. Now, if you don't get whoever the card is or whatever, maybe, you know, they just do it where a ton of XP gets released and you are able to get it relatively soon. And I think that's pretty fair to say, considering, again, a guy like Luka would really be nice. So I need you guys to do me a favor. If it was a guy like Luka, comment a W in the chat if you would actually grind for him. Now, I want you guys to really think about this, because even if it is Luka and you are able to obtain him within the first week, are you still going to grind for him if there's other guys like Magic, Ben, Giannis, LeBron, all these guys that can play the point? Kind of curious to know your guys' opinions there. Now we do have the online modes in limited and unlimited. Now this is probably going to be the modes that people obviously care about the most. This season we did see Elgin Baylor, which is a fat W. Like, I love this Elgin Baylor, and I think he was a great idea to see, you know, in this season. Now, unlimited, same thing. Larry Johnson was definitely not somebody we wanted to see, which, by the way, too, I want to point this out. My unlimited record, obviously, is 25-7. If you guys don't know this already, I actually quit out of my first 6 games of this season. So since then, our record is actually, I'm sorry, my first 5 games. Since then, my record is 25-2, with one of those games being that I quit out for somebody that let me do the 61 points with a Lakers center. And then the other game I lost just because, I mean, you know how some of them games be. Pineapples. If you know, you know. But anyway, we actually did a good job turning the season around. But the whole point is, Larry Johnson is just not worth the grind. And I don't think too many people are going to be sweating for unlimited unless it is a very good card. And again, I don't see them dropping an Invincible card yet, just because it still is June. And I know it sounds weird, but I just don't see it. I think, you know, I think unlimited and limited are gonna both obviously have dark matters in them, but I don't think they're gonna be invincible cards by any means, mainly because, again, we're not really in the state where it's completely endgame. Like, we're pushing it, but we're not there yet. Now, if I did have to make a prediction that I think not only people would want to grind for, but that also would be pretty good still in this game, one, I'm going to say the limited reward, I think, is going to be a Dark Matter John Stockton. Now, the reason why is because the limited, I think they're going to kind of, I'm not going to say that they're going to do away with in this next season, but I think this is going to be like a gap in a way. So I think putting a Dark Matter John Stockton in here would kind of make sense for them, in a sense where you put in a point guard that is obviously going to be pretty good. It's just he is going to be a little undersized compared to everybody else. But I think if they do badge him out right and everything, giving him blinders and everything, I think he will be a budget version of what Pistol Pete is. So I think, you know, that would be pretty decent at least. For unlimited, I think somebody that we really have not seen in a very long time. For unlimited, I am thinking we are going to be seeing a good old Danny Granger. We've only seen, I mean, we actually have 2 Danny Grangers, one being a part of the season tip-off, and then the other one being in Idols VIP, but we only have a pink diamond version of Granger, and I think a Dark Matter Granger definitely makes sense, and it could be a card people are going to grind for. I mean, again, if they do it maybe as, like, I don't want to say a retro version of Danny Granger, but if they do something like that where he can play point, and he maybe has a good jump shot and doesn't really get a lot of straight arms, I could actually see him being a very good card, and one that people are definitely going to want to grind for. Now, as far as Triple Threat offline and online goes, I mean, these modes are always hit or miss. I mean, we do see Bailey Howell with the Triple Threat online boards. Triple Threat offline, we do have Larry Kennan, and then we did get Gerald Wilkins. So those 2 guys are pretty cool. Bailey Howell was definitely nice. Larry Kennan was definitely nice. And this is where, again, I think we're going to see some players that, you know, haven't really been, you know, they haven't really gotten any upgrades, but, like, they're still not going to be all that great. So one of these I can definitely see being a guy like a Dark Matter Manute Bol. I feel like Manute Bol would be more of a Triple Threat offline reward, where they do kind of make Manute a little cheesy. You know, he is 7'7". They give him a 3-ball and they just make him kind of cracked as far as his speed and stuff like that. Triple Threat online, I could see them definitely, you know, having somebody like a, I literally just had him in my mind and I already forgot, and I kind of hate myself. I believe he's a part of the season tip-off stuff. Yeah, so yeah, okay. So my Triple Threat online guess is going to be a guy like Wally Zerbiak, where, again, it's another small forward / shooting guard. But I think if they obviously make him in a good budget way, they can give him a really good jump shot, give him good defense animations, and he'll be like a budget Karolinko for the most part. And I think that'd be pretty nice for a lot of you budget ballers to kind of get a good, you know, wing player like that. So those are my 2 guesses for Triple Threat online and offline. I think, you know, so far the guesses actually are pretty accurate. You know, being with a guy like Danny Granger that people are going to want to grind for. John Stockton, more of a filler. Triple Threat online being a guy like Wally Zerbiak, a nice budget forward. Manute Bol for offline. And then we do have the you know, Invincible Luca as the level 40. Now, the only other thing I really want to try to predict here is what we are going to be seeing in the new domination. Now, we are basically guaranteed to get a new domination. If we don't see a domination, I'm going to be really concerned. The reason why is obviously we do have these lifetime, or the lifetime agendas, not only for this Tdem, but we'll get into that in another video. But we do have this, where it says earn 595 stars. You get 75k MT and 250 tokens. Obviously, with that, we have to get them this season. If we don't, I don't know why they're going to be delaying it even further, and I really hope they don't. So with domination, I mean, we obviously saw our first free dark matter in Mel Daniels. Now, the final one is going to be a basically it has to be a dark matter. You know what I mean? Like we're guaranteed almost to get a dark matter. You can see the look, or you know, the people on this list. You know, George Mikan was good in the beginning of the year. Jameson was good. Mel Daniels was okay. I mean, like he was good when he came out, but like he was just kind of irrelevant like a week later. So I mean, if you look at some collections that we, you know, got towards the beginning of the year, you know, if you look at some players that we really haven't seen, like a Robert Ory could kind of make sense, you know, for that. I think that could be definitely a player we could most likely see. Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom is a card we have yet to see. That could be another one that we could potentially get at. But, you know, I was more thinking probably somebody in these idols VIPs that we could definitely be seeing. I mean, Darren Williams was another card that came out in the beginning of the year. I know he has his Galaxy Opal, so I wouldn't say him. But you even have a guy like, you know, Drazen, maybe it could be, maybe a guy like, you know, Michael Cooper, or not Michael Cooper, Byron Scott is another one we could see. You know, some of these, like, or one of these, like, random guys that we've yet to see in a very long time that could easily make his way. It could even potentially be a Clay. We have yet to see Clay get an upgrade, and I think that'd be kind of a good thing. Maybe they do, like, a shooter's domination, and they just, you know, give Clay a random upgrade. As far as a promo goes, I definitely think we are going to be seeing retro number 4. We have yet to see a retro in probably 3 seasons now. So that is something I can definitely see happening. So you guys let me know what you guys think of my predictions. Let me know what you guys think is going to be the level 40 reward. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to kill the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and yeah, peace.